Their duel was not over yet. No idea how Greg was able to notice that though. And as not to leave you guys hanging as it went down during the actual event, here's the rerun. Gocha was clearly superior to Greg as the leader, and he made it into the top 8, this time with no complaints. Was obviously outclassed. Gocha was calm and collected in the lead, did a decent job with the assignment, meanwhile Yevgeny was all over the place, straightening his wheels out, leaving the track and so on. And nothing really changed during the second run. Spirin missed the clipping points and went out of bounds. Chivchian just followed him at a reasonable distance and...
Of course, his plan is to give himself a present and to win this championship on his first year. So let's see a good, really, so close, so precise to the wall. James Dean, that's the machine. Really close to outside zone 2. I think there was a touch there. Outside zone 3 almost perfectly. Wow, that is James Dean at his best. Touch and go. I think he touched also the wall there. Outside zone 4 is also there, and he's coming into the last corner, coming to the touch and go, and wow!
Due to the lack of the quorum, we'll go to top 16 through wide runs. Magomed Amarov, Lukoil Racing 15, and his first attempt. Furidashi is quite good. The OZ1, then the transition, and this is a good line to the OZ1. You just need to be within the track. He takes the touch and go 2, then he carefully approaches the clip, and now the last clipping zone, and yeah, unfortunately, because of technical failure, he couldn't really compete with his opponent in the top 32. And now, meanwhile, we see Magomed Amarov. He's having some problems on the way to OZ1, and Magomed Amarov is having 2 wheels outside the white line. He misses the inner clip and touch and go 3, and he hits it because it's very hard.
As in they didn't collide at least. Otherwise Ivan was carrying too much pace in the lead, also 4 of his wheels left the track during round 2. That is A0. Round 1 saw no such things happen. Both drivers did well, though they weren't necessarily perfect. And as you've probably guessed, Artyom late is even though he did go out of bounds a few times, and corrected around 9/3. Sherbina was desperately trying to keep up, which he was doing a fairly decent job with, even though his driving in the chase position wasn't necessarily elegant or in step. He actually made some gross corrections.
St. Petersburg, Anton Klimko. Just 1/2 point is he away from Andrea Stapa from Lukoil Racing 15. And now the BMW F22 is running for the first sector, touch and go 2, another transition. And even if you think that you're having hallucinations, it's snowing, it is really snowing. But Anton Klimko is okay with that. He is very carefully keeping his car under control. Precise.
This is the full throttle where he can go everything. He can do everything he can, and this is almost a backward, a very powerful initiation and a really awesome transition. Both must be as sharp as possible, and one wheel is outside the white line and O's at 1. And Yevgeny Losev doesn't let the speed go down, and he continues accelerating exactly as the judges prescribe. Then he stabilizes the vehicle using the handbrake without losing.
We will find it out very soon. Nikolai Gorkovenko from Carville Racing is beginning his qualifying run.
Hardly taken touch and go 1. The O's at 1 is already under the wheels of this BMW E36. Touch and go 2. Yes, got it. Very good. Second OZ. Also very good. Here he opened up a little bit too late. Your opponent can be anyone. He can be more decorated, more experienced or less experienced. And in the meanwhile, Dmitry Ermokin from Starcross Stars IMO gets one of the no-go zones, but works through the O's at 1. And then it picks O's at 1, even though he's at the edge of the acceptable. And he misses the inner one. Whoa, that is a serious...
Second run, second attempt for him. Let's see. Not perfectly on the outside on outer zone 1. Better on outside zone 2, but still a long way to go. And let's see how he can cope with the long turn. He's in the inside and then just comes back to the outside. Touch and go is better than before, and touch and go 2 is also better, but still
Yeah, not easy into a mistake for the Jesuit, who has to keep it somehow together. Right now it's happening for him. He's on to outer zone 2, and that's quite a good lead run. I think better than all his qualifying runs until this moment. Ooh, goes a little bit off track, but keeps it somehow together. Yeah. And how close is Losev? How close is Losev? Well, without the mistake in the lead run, I think this would be it. This would be it, but right now they are over the finish line. And
Their second run was pretty mediocre. Alexei Vaktin was driving to the best of his ability, Damir was chasing at a reasonable distance. But then in the second OZ, Idiatulin's rear wheel strayed onto some sand. He desperately tried to get back on track, but in the end went sailing off the tarmac. The judges spent some time replaying the video and ruled that this was an out-of-control pretty well in the lead position, while Griha is super aggressive and even reckless. That's how close his chaser is following his opponent's flanker. But in OZ2, things go south, with Griha making some major correction. Turns out the culprit was a tire that unseated itself on his chaser.
Some bad luck, some technical issues in the last few rounds, but of course if everything works, then he's one to watch. And yeah, solid right now through the first zones, getting really outside, almost outside the track, throughout zone 3. Smoking out the whole layout of Sochi Autodrome. Oh, almost, I think that was a wall tap, and it seemed that it was a wall tap. It was a wall tap there, but
Look, oil brand looks a little lonely, but this is a corporate livery and this is a logo. What a generous initiation. I think that he did it right. While the asphalt is still dry, he should use it, and Grigory Gusev runs through the OZ1. He collects touch and go 2 with some handbrake work, and then he takes the inner clip, and the last clipping zone is left, and yes, he is there. Part of this OMT heat, and maybe everything will be decided right now, and if not, maybe there will be another OMT, and then definitely one of them will go to the first round. If another OMT will be required, then Magomed Amarov will win, as the driver rate is higher after the qualifying. This far, Magomed Amarov is going very good as a chaser. He cuts through the white line, but this is not okay for the chaser.
And Schneider, missing a bunch of the clips while in the lead, his line score amounting to 13 out of 30 points. Schneider, in the meantime, was successfully working around the leader's strange movements, and afterwards made a clean run while in the lead. Maxim was sticking pretty close to him in the chase, but at that point it was too late. Schneider is in the top 16, where he meets with Shabanov, Bagatov, and the fun continues. Both were performing fantastically right up until the final transition. Dan simply didn't give the leader any space, resulting in the Supra's left rear wheel giving the right front wheel on his BMW a good hit. Two surprises here. First of all, Damir avoided spinning out even after the second tap right before the finish line. Second, the fact that Dan even made it to the finish line on a flat tire and a bent rim and with a crooked...
Looking at his second run, just look how the weather has been changing. It wasn't a very long time from the first run to the second, but now you see that the initiation is so great, a small correction, and then touch and go 1, and here he will be a little bit penalized for the correction, then touch and go 3, the last third one of it, and the dotted line marks the end of the deceleration zone, full throttle, and Romantiva that is running into the...
He is accelerating and does the Furidashi. He is very good at this element. He was during the training, and now he is not doing worse. This is a transition, and he is a little bit late with the entrance to OZ1, but nevertheless, no one really expected him to reach touch and go 2, and here is the OZ2, the maximum width of the track, and now it's time to bits of technical adventures with the platform changing it up with stuff, and then finally the Silvia S14 with 2JZ engine. Very interesting headlights, turning on and off. So much happening in this short period of time. You can see the headlights flashing. Maybe something is going on with the voltage. And the second outside clip is left behind. Now he just climbs smooth transitions. Here comes Maxim Grossman on board Toyota Mark II. He's the leader of the qualifying this far. And he almost got 90 points. He has a chance to do it now. He went very broadly through touch and go 1. That is very good. And I think that this is going to be an advantage. He hardly touches the touch and go 2. And then he had to use the handbrake. Oh, what an angle. But thankfully he
gets handling it, and he goes on the broad.
Lexus IS I have ever seen because of a really wide body kit. Good outside line there from Andreas Tapov on the first corner. Second corner is also on spot. So I think he's on for some good points in his first qualifying run. Also here, really wide and consistent line from Tapov. That's what we want to see. Transition on to touch and go 1, transition on to touch and go 2, and he is going there. He's going to